These first few minutes are of me fluffing the CNC cut, so skip ahead if you want. This was actually a very refined file that didn't need any shaping other than taking out the CNC lines and finishing the rails. Just what a CNC cut should be like. This 7'6" custom order was designed to be ridden in head-to-double overhead waves. I used a 6-foot step-up file to begin with, and put more rocker in the nose, and a small amount more in the tail, to help fit the curve of a bigger, steeper wave. There is still a flat section through the middle concave, though, for keeping speed and aid paddling. The outline had the wide point slightly forward, but still enough width in the tail for carving cutbacks. As I wanted this board to hold well in steeper waves, I kept the edge running from the tail to almost 1/3 up the board. Being a step-up minigun, keeping volume was important. I had to make sure it was in the right place too. Enough under the chest and at the wide point so that it paddles well. The bottom consisted of light to medium concave, splitting to double in front of the fins and then spiral V behind them. The final dimensions were 7'6" by 21 inches by 3 1/16. The volume came in at 51.2 liters. For this board, my customer requested a mackerel fish pattern. I was sent a photo, something similar to this. Of course, I did mention that this may not be the best idea, as you may end up looking like a big fishing lure. I had already planned the design though, and was going to use the same technique from my previous video, the retro flame spray board. Everything was drawn and cut out freehand. Unfortunately, the tape was left overnight before spraying, which caused it to wrinkle and made the spray bleed a little. Luckily, it was going under a tint, which will smooth it out a bit, but looking back, I should have retaped the whole thing. A lot of resin prep went into this lamination. I was trying to achieve a sprayed effect fade from blue to turquoise. Not very easy to do with resin. I had to mix up every different shade between the two colors with even graduation. I knew this was going to take a while to laminate, so I had to make sure I kicked the resin pretty slow. The smaller amounts of resin actually made the catalyst difficult to measure, trying to only kick at 0.75%. Because of the concave bottom, I had to laminate from the middle out. I had to remember to do the deck from the rails inwards, otherwise the resin would run off onto the white cloth, ruining the parallel fade lines. The camera really doesn't show the fade, unfortunately. In person, you can clearly see graduation from blue to turquoise green. Time for a quick surf check. Human soup. No thanks. Back to boards.